Brush Festival in Nara, Japan. Brushes, or Fude in Japanese, are celebrated here every spring. They have been central to the Japanese culture since the 3rd or 4th centuries, when they were first introduced from China. Nowadays they are still used for calligraphy and brush painting. They are very sensitive and respond to the slightest pressure applied by the artist. There are many kinds and sizes of brushes, ranging from the small to the very large. These brushes are made from horsetails. With such a responsive, pliable brush, the quality of the hair is of the utmost importance. It must be resilient, springy, straight and healthy. Genes, climate, diet, and nowadays pollution all affect the animal's coats. Of all animal species, only about 20 have fur which is suitable for brush making. Goat hair, horse, weasel, raccoon dog are often used. Most hair used in Japanese brushes comes from Southeast Asia and China. An exception is horse, which comes from Canada. Brushes are also made from feathers, bamboo and straw. This master craftsman at Hakubundo brush manufacturers in Nara is going to make a goat hair brush. He begins by choosing and sorting the hair. He cuts off any skin still attached. He makes sure the tips and roots of the hair are the right way round. It is divided into piles of different lengths. Oil is removed with ash and heat, and then rolled in a leather cloth. He aligns the tips and takes out the hairs which are upside down. Still more combing to remove stray hairs. Old Japanese measurements are used for the brush length. Now he is constructing the core of the brush. It's the most difficult part of the process. Different length hairs are cut and carefully mixed to produce the characteristic candle flame brush shape. This shape is determined by the function of each part of the brush. The top 30% is used for writing, the middle holds the ink, and the bottom third provides the spring. The hairs are combed and remixed 7 times to establish the core of the brush. He uses a small cylinder to measure the size of the brush. A thin layer of hair is rolled round the outside to stop shorter hair from sticking out and to ensure that the brush writes smoothly. When they are dry, the hairs are tied with hemp. And singed. And finally, he prepares the handle for the brush. It will have taken the craftsman 10 years to have mastered his craft. Brushes write differently, depending on the hair they are made of. Here, calligrapher Akifumi Kawabe is using a long goat hair brush. It is highly absorbent and doesn't have any spring. It's very difficult to write with, but a good test of his calligraphic skill. He is writing characters from the wooden sticks of the early 3rd and 4th centuries. The short goat's hair brush is easier to control. The strokes are full and rounded in this standard script in the style of the famous Chinese general Yan Shenxing. For small work, a weasel brush is a good choice. It is easy to control, but pliable. This is the standard script. This is a medium-length East Asian deer brush. It's much springier than goat hair and doesn't hold the ink so well. He chooses an early form of standard script for this brush. Children use brushes made from a combination of hair, as they are easier to control. They are firm, have a good spring, and hold the ink well. Kawabe-san is writing seasonal phrases, which children would practice in the autumn. This one reads, "Autumn colours." A chicken feather brush. It has no spring and is not easy to write with. The results are unpredictable, but they are often used for creative work with good effect. A hard horsetail brush can also be used for creative work. This one's extra long and makes it very unpredictable. For native Japanese kana, a raccoon dog brush is a good choice. It is resilient and holds ink well. And finally, a man-made brush, one made of nylon. They're extremely springy. Brushes do not last forever. Here at the Brush Festival, priests hold a ceremony of gratitude for brushes used throughout the year. People bring their old brushes for cremation.